think we're live. A little early, too. What's up? There we are. What's up, Mike? What's up, Jeff? What's up, Luke's? What's up, Richard? What's up, Ed? What's up, Gary? Yeah, it is alive. What's up, Ian? Chris? Dennis? Gary again. KG confirms we are live. Good. Yeah, Ron, you know, I was ready. I said, just go live. I feel like I might have... Feels a little off over there. Well, we'll see if it becomes a problem. What's up, Thunder Falcon? Coots, Mr. 845, Christopher Neiman, Draconia, J Beebs, J Shaft, Star Guitar Works. What's up, John ZD and Leo? Tactical 6 string, of course. Mamad Terry 3G. Got 80s guitar and music and stuff. And was Vito a brother an EX player? You know, he's so associated with Steinberger. You know what I'm saying? He's like just so associated with Steinberger guitars. What's up, Terry? What's up, Dennis? What's up, Christian and Bagel and Robert? I'm early and live, I know, Terry. Coming early, an extra special something. What's up, Frank? We'll do it live! The shipping was $70. It used to be $35, but it's up to $70. But you can load 2 guitars in that order, no problem. You know, there's plenty of weight room. You know, it's sort of like a flat rate through UPS, and you know, it gets here in about 48 hours. It's an express run from Germany to my front door, and you know, they ship it on Monday and it's here on Wednesday. That's pretty quick. What's up, Guitar Man 45? And Dave Yo and Richard and Zach Thong. What's up, buddy? And Wendell. God, we got everybody here. It's going by a little quick here. I think I saw Jason go by and the other Terry. And what's up, David? I'm trying to pay attention to the chat here. What's up, Mike? What's up? And the other Mike, double mics. What's up, Brandon Hotshot? I've always liked Explorers. You know, I don't think I've ever owned I'm trying to think if I've ever owned an Explorer shape. No, not even as a destroyer, which would be far more likely. You know, I was a big Ibanez guy back in the day. So probability would be me more having a destroyer. Looks like they just came home trying to sneak in before I started, but too late. What's up, Strat CPO? EXP shape in EMGs. Will it Metallica? Sure. 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 Yes. That's science. Draconia owns 4 Explorers. Love those things. I guess so. 4 of them. Jesus. That's a pretty good collection. Though I have a lot of Strats and a lot of RGs, if I think about it. Thrash Metal Studio says, hey Steve, I had an old LTD Explorer from 1998. Hold on, you just went off screen here. It was cool, but Matt also had the Epiphone 1084 reissue too thick. I'm at the point of wanting a real Gibson. Yeah, it happens. What's up, Bob F? All right, I just jumped back, jumped back down the end. What's up, Jay Jennings? And BC Rich. I think I saw him go by real quick here. Came for the tone, stay for the science, exactly. No LTDs or ESPs. I did have an ESP once, though, but it was the old Strat. It was probably like one of their vintage. It was from 87 or 88. Yeah, because I think I sold it in 88. I think I bought it in 87. EMGs, Floyd Rose, you know, Alpine White Strat, Rosewood fretboard. And, yeah, it's the only ESP. That was ESP, too. That wasn't LTD. I don't even think LTD was a thing yet. In 87? ESP was just becoming a thing. Yeah, LTD feels like something that shot up in the 90s. Only part umbrella I see use one is the inside of the umbrella facing you or the outside facing you with the light behind it. Outside facing me with the light behind it. You want to pass through. You don't want to try and reflect off. Pass through is the correct answer. You'll diffuse it much more. Much better. Well, that one needs to go back now that it's damaged. Now, I think I can fix it. It's pretty small, and actually the paint is all in one piece. I think I might be able to take the chip off, right? Sort of clean it up a little bit and get the fibers that are like a little extraneous, sort of, you know, tamed. And then glue the whole chip back in one piece, right? Or 2 pieces tops. And then just clear over it a little bit with some super glue. And buff. If it's that big of a deal. You know, it's on the back of the guitar. If it was on the front of the guitar, I might be more likely to fix it. But it's on the back. Yeah, there was no LTD in the 80s. That sounds about right. What's up, Don Don? What's up, Bobby? Played first gig last night, one of the big Maple Wolfgang. So nice. I'm pre-warning everyone. Had some glow-in-the-dark paint on the markers. Oh, really? I could use that in a few guitars. I wish they all had a... I really need the contrast now. Really hate it when they're too close to each other in looks, you know? Yeah. And there's the... And we go to the other cam here. Yeah, there you go. Do-do-do. With your ESP, EMG, ACDC, YNT. Just leave it. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, how much time are you really putting in on this thing? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Rock Nutters? What's up, Johnny R. Kramer? Thank you. What's up, Music Sound Gear? ESP Vito Strat. Check the weight video. Oh, yeah? Okay. You know, that might be what I had. It was a Strat. It was a total Strat. But it had, you know, they're notched at the end. You know that ESP headstock. It's like the round headstock, but it's not round. It's got a little notch at the end. Almost kind of like the PV a little bit. You know? Yeah. Geez, I guess they are. 12 to... Some serious separation on those 12 fret dots. Yeah. Shock! Where's the shot? Like right... It's like I feel like I gotta go. I need another light this way. You're not catching the front of it. I guess I could go like... Trying to fill the screen like corner to corner, you know? Anyway. So I thought the... thought the bridge pickup just didn't quite sound right. And the problem is that they kind of had it far away from the strings. More of like where a passive pickup would be. Passive pickups you don't want to get too close, or they almost like, especially single coil pickups, they don't sound good, right? There's a sweet spot at a certain distance away where they really start to sound good. And then you start to lose tone, right? There really is a sweet spot. But for EMGs, you kind of want them closer than farther away. You do not want them too far away because they're a very weak magnet. That's why it needs the preamp. It's pretty low. That's why they're also so noiseless. It's a pretty weak interference that you're trying to break. So when you have the pickup far away, it's kind of anemic. And I just moved the pickup. You can't get it too close, so you're going to hit the pickup with the string. Right, so you have to play the balance where you need it a little bit away from it. But I just think it sounds so much better on the bridge pickup. I'm hearing that sort of bite, that sort of slash that you get, you know what I'm saying, from a bridge pickup. It just wasn't there. It was there, but it didn't have anything behind it. It had no meat on it at all, because I just think, again, it was just too weak of a signal. With the obligatory chip at the end of the headstock, exactly. And you'll chip your headstock, kid. 1 second later, chip. Exactly. Suppose I could paint the headstock. What do you paint on that other than a shark, right? The other thing is the angle on the cord. I mean, on the strap button here. It's coming sort of straight. It needs to be like angled more. You need a bigger button on this, because it'll pop off. It'll definitely pop off. Just because it's coming too far, like angled up instead of angled side. That's easily fixed. You just throw a strap lock in there and you're all done. What's up, Pit Middle Works? What's up, James? What's up, Landon? No, these are Indonesia. Made in Indonesia. Not made in China. I don't think they could. You know, I don't know that you get the branded parts when they do the Chinese runs. I think that's more of an Indonesia thing. I'm going through just a guitar interface and software. I'm using THU. Mounted on the back. That's a good idea, Browns fan. Maybe I'll just switch it over to the back. Yeah, that's a good idea, right? And then just you put the strap over, kind of like the way a V is. You know, that's a good idea. Just leave this one here and just add an extra one. Or I could go strap lock. I think I might even have a set of strap locks, but I don't think they're black. I think they're chrome. I'd probably want the black ones just to match the rest of the hardware, you know. Lockett guitar strap locks? I'll check them out. From balmy Prince Edward Island. We're pretty balmy here too. I'm ready for the summer to be over. I'm really looking forward to the first frost. What's up, Amanda? Strap buttons right there. Yeah. Let me get to the... Yeah. Yeah, so the strap kind of comes up rather than to the side. You know? It's actually, the headstock's bent back quite a bit. I don't know if you can notice that, but it's a tilt back. So that's why they don't, I think, have a string nut. And they're locking tuners, right? I don't know if you can see the locks, the locking tuners. So the posts on the top are extremely short because they're expecting no windings. Right, so they're little stubbies. They just barely stick out of the top. So you get a pretty good break angle. My right hand. Just use a rubber washer. Yeah, that's actually, yeah. From a Grosch beer bottle. Oh, that's unusually specific. You working for Grosch there, buddy? I know, exactly. I might get copyrighted. God damn. Yeah. Very, very little humor. Yeah, it's an old-fashioned tilt back. pretty good with the sound. It's a typical mahogany heavy sound, and not so much. Well, it's got a little weight to it. I wouldn't call it a light guitar. I don't know. Feels. How do you know it's mahogany unless I take a saw to it, which I'm unlikely to do. That's the fish tank doing. Fish tank's doing good. In fact, we just had the guy here yesterday to tune it up. We have a fish tank tuner. Yeah, it's up, Barry Fitz. And he's, he was even saying, he goes, the tank's looking good. We got the corals. They really do make a difference. I'd like to add more fish, but it seems like an awfully big tank for very few fish. We used to have a lot more fish and a lot smaller tank. The deeper tilt back help with sustain? I don't think so. I think it's so you can avoid using a string tree, right? It's to get a break angle over the nut. All right, Fender has to use a string tree because their necks go straight. Is it? I'm not tuned to F. Geez, I wonder if I'm coming up a little high because, you know what? I did change the. I was having trouble syncing, and I changed from 44.1 to 48. Right? If you think about that, that would give you. That might give you F. Right? But it shouldn't. It shouldn't. I mean, it shouldn't make a difference. Let me check the old tuner here. No, it says. In fact, it says I'm a little flat. It says that's. No, it says I'm in tune. It says that is E. Need a tag picture on Instagram. Yeah, I'll get one. It's a good idea. No, the cats don't go near the fish tank. They used to in the old fish tank. They used to be more curious, but the new one is more. It's bigger. It's more of a monolith. It has a big canopy, right? It's got a top now, big topper. How much do you have to tweak your EQ from humbuckers to single coils? I don't really have to. The main thing I worry about, the number one thing I have to be careful of is my input volume and gain on the Focusrite bus. Because if I'm underdriving it or I'm overdriving it, and it differs literally guitar to guitar. If I overdrive it or I underdrive it, then it doesn't sound as good as if you just nail the drive, right? So I have a thing where, I want a consistent 2 bars and maybe tickle up to 3 or 4 if I really honk on it, and then it quickly goes down to 1, but stays at 1 for a very long time before it falls off, right? It's still lit, still on 1. Now it's starting to flicker, and now it just went out. So again, just getting that, I've really learned to read my lights and get that. And then if I picked up a different guitar, I'd have to adjust that a little bit. And a lot of it's by ear. Balance, no neck dive? Maybe a little neck dive. You know, this is a pretty slippery strap, though. You know? Not really. There are times you can get THU for 170. So that's true. You gotta wait. You know, THU is like $299. I want to say it's like $300 if it's not on sale, but it's usually well under $200, like 179, 169. You know, on like a Black Friday sale, could be like 159. You know, it just depends on what they feel like doing. Right? They can set the price wherever they want. So, yeah, definitely wait until it goes on sale, because it will go on sale. They usually have 3 or 4 sales a year. There's usually a couple in the spring, and always in the fall. Always a Black Friday sale. Always a sale around Christmas. So, but then it will go away for a while. So you gotta get it when it's on sale. I don't know that. You feel like the 60 is less output to the EMG 81? It should be. It's because it's supposed to be a neck pickup. If anything, I think the 60 sounds louder there. They meter about the same. Actually, the bridge might meter just a hair higher. But that's probably all just frequency response. It's a body smaller than Explorer. I don't have an Explorer to compare it to, but I'm hitting my mic here. Hold on. The bottom of my shoes, they have such like a hiking tread that the every cable, the headphone cable, the guitar cable, and the mic cable are forever getting caught inside the treads. And I go to move my foot, and I'm dragging the cable away, and I just drag the mic off the clip. I know today is tax-free sales tax, no sales tax. I think up to $2,500. I've capitalized on that before. I bought a Strat one time for real short money, and that was really good. And I picked up an iPad one year on tax-free weekend. I think that's about it. Yeah, I think it is smaller. I don't have an Explorer to compare it to, but I don't think it's quite. Watch out there, kid! You're gonna whack and see LP and Z. I'll tell you who had one of the greatest Explorers I ever checked out was Peter Dunbar. He was at the Chapman Clinic, and he brought his Explorer, and it was like a special one, like a special Texas Explorer or something like that. I forget the was it like an Eldorado? They make an Eldorado Explorer or something? I forget now. But it was like this wonderful sunburst. It had the binding everywhere, and it was just so nice. I was like, damn. He was like, dude, check out. He goes, you want to check out my guitars? Absolutely. Man, it was nice. I have a plug in the Epi 2020 custom LP. This thing, dude, I've played this. I mean, help me out here, guys. How many times have I played this in a live show? A dozen? I feel like I've played it in at least a dozen. Remember, we do 52 shows a year. The cost for this is about $400. It's translated. It depends on the exchange rate. They're €336, and I think when I checked out, it was $395, $396, like $395.24. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere around there. The hollow body has it doesn't have the best tuning, and it's hard to play that's the type of guitar that works good in a video, because I can turn the mic off and record the guitar separately. But when you're in a live show with a live mic and pick up a big acoustic guitar, you're going to hear a lot of, that's mainly what you're going to hear. Like, exactly, the small diamond. Kramer project update. Well, I got in all the parts, and the only thing that's sort of holding me back now is just finding the time to do it. The other thing is I don't have a good piece of substrate for my template. I thought I did, but it's actually too thick. I thought it was an 1/8 inch thick, but it's actually a 1/4 inch thick, and that's actually too thick for my stuff. It doesn't work. So that set me back, and then it's like, well, now I have to run to Home Depot, and I just haven't made it there. I got to get some sort of a panel to work with, like an 1/8 inch panel, which is pretty cheap. I think I can get a 2 foot by 4 foot 1/8 inch a Masonite panel for like $5. I just got to go there and get it. And the other thing, it's been ungodly hot out. It's been ridiculously hot. Hopefully the heat breaks like tonight, and tomorrow is going to be a lot cooler and drier, because, man, it has been, it's been a heat wave. Kind of blech. They're not blackouts. These are EMGs. EMGs. Blackout is the Duncan. The Duncan one. These are EMG 81 and EMG 60. And they're active. They take a battery. How was the setup when you first got it? Fine. The only thing that I had to do was I raised the humbucker and the bridge I felt like it was just a little too weak and too far away from the pickup, so I raised it up. Can't get it too close though, or you'll hit it with your pick, or you'll hit it with the string. In fact, a lot of times you'll see EMGs with string grooves on them because people bring them up as close as they possibly can to the strings. It's kind of a thing, right? You want EMGs, you want as close to the strings as possible. That's how they get theirs. You cannot get an EMG too close. You can get a passive pickup too close, absolutely. It's a whole different tech, though. Those high-level destroyers from the 80s bring top dollar. Oh, absolutely. God. Guitar Center used, God, 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. Down in Atlanta, Georgia, the Atlanta store, they had like 2 destroyers. And when I tell you these things were gorgeous, straight at like 1981, 1982 destroyers. When I tell you these things were just so, I was like, oh my God. And I couldn't add it to my cart. And I just called him immediately. He's like, ha, yeah, no, dude, those are gone. He's like, but I can take your name, you know, if we get him in. They never got, it's been 10 years, they haven't got him back in again. You know? Black guitars look sharp, but they are smudge magnets, dude. Fingerprint magnets like you can't believe. My SG, my LP. I'm like, oh, that's right. That's why I don't get black guitars. They are fingerprint magnets. Yeah, they're good until you literally put it in your hands, and it's all over until you run a friggin' microfiber cloth over it again. The only thing I hate about EMG is the action needs to be altered from my picking technique. It's hard to avoid rattling the pickups. Yeah, that's just it. Again, that's why you'll see so many EMGs with string grooves, you know, gouged into the top of them, because you know, people they pushing hard down on the string and it's constantly scraping over the top of the pickup. You'll see that all the time, and they raise them way up. Greeting from Mark in Milano, Italy. Ciao. I heard you guys were pretty hot down in the southern tip of Italy recently. Kind of made the news over here because it was so damn hot. Seems like this summer it's been breaking records all over the upper Midwest. I mean the Northwest, right? And Canada broke records, and we had the hottest June ever. People don't realize that EMGs, they sound good, man. They really are good pickups. They they do have a different sound, and sometimes when you'll go back to passives and you'll be like, oh my god, of course passives, of course, blah blah. But then you go back to actives, you're like, oh, but there's a crispness, there's a certain compression. It really is. They're more dynamic than people give them credit. Oh, thanks, Vinny P. No, thank you, buddy. Your fingers turn black the first few times you play that thing. No, I haven't. Some good boards you do get that, but no, I didn't get that on this. No, not on this one. I'm trying to think of the last one I had. The ones from China used to do that. Make your fingers go black. Meanwhile, in New Zealand, you're freezing your arses off. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's that whole tilt thing. You're on the shady tilt, not the sunny tilt. I don't understand the hate for EMGs. The cleans are actually great as well. Exactly. So back in the mid '80s, it was sort of a thing, to, get like a Squire made in Japan Strat, and the sort of the weakest part of that build was the pickups, right? Ceramic pickups. So they'd pull those out and throw in EMGs, and they'd be silent, and you had this great quality guitar with silent pickups. It was like this really high value sort of rig that I know myself and many other guitar players had that exact same rig, an MIJ Squire with EMGs in it. So someone again asked the price. As of right now, $395. Again, it goes by the exchange rate, and it was €336, which with the dollar exchange rate worked out to $395 roughly. Gilmore sounded pretty good with EMGs, exactly. Ron says, I have an ESP with EMG Hetfield. Sounds great. Sure. Yeah. Dude, love the EMG tone. Run a Luke. Okay, yeah. Look at you with the Ball Family Reserve. Amazing tone. Gives me a tone by the bucket. So, just not to go off on a tangent here, they did make a Ball. There is one Ball Family Reserve that always caught my eye. It's probably from maybe 2 years ago or maybe a year and a half ago. I think it's a 2019 model. I'd have to go back and check. But it's the Axis, and it's got a Floyd Rose on it. And I want to say it's got like a highly flamed, neck, of course. And I think it was an ebony fretboard, I forget now. But it was a quilt top satin finish in Predator green. And I got to admit, the marketing worked on me. I was like, I love Predator. I'll take anything associated. How often do you need to change the battery with EMG? Years and years. It depends on how often you leave it plugged in. The system is only activated when it's plugged in. So if you leave your guitar on the stand with the jack plugged in, then yeah, you're going to rip through your EMGs pretty quickly. If you unplug your guitar when you're done playing it, then you won't tear through your battery so quickly because the circuit has been broken. The circuit's only completed when you plug the guitar in. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up here. EMGs maybe don't clean up good. No, they clean up fine. Gotta remember, it's pretty heavy sound. Frets are great on this. Actually, I wish I could. Maybe I can get the ends were really clean, like very well rounded and dressed for a guitar that was, you know, so inexpensive. I got to say, I was pretty fresh, and they were crowned nice and round on the top. That's another thing I hate. You know, sometimes they set up the guitar by just running a, you know what I'm saying, like a flat file over the top to make sure that the frets are all level with each other, and they never really crown them. You see that on really low-cost guitars. But no, these are all crowned nice and round on the top, and no, the whole thing, pretty good. They're not stainless steel though. These are just nickel frets. They have been doing stainless steel on some of their, like the Fusion, I think, had stainless steel, and I think my Amarok had stainless steel. But I think that other SC550 didn't. That's also nickel. I think this is nickel. Depends on the series. They're not all stainless steel. Quite frankly, stainless steel is a little bright. There is a sound difference. I do notice that my stainless steel guitars are a touch brighter than my non-stainless steel. You can pick up on it without a doubt. It's probably because of the hardness of the stainless steel. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the jack, but I'm firmly on record with that. I don't like them back-facing ones. It's a crime against nature. I mean, it's just, you know, like. I suppose you could go in and just flip that jack around, right? Because all it is a Strat jack on the ass end of this thing. Right, I wonder if you could just flip it in the other direction. Don't fret. So no, you can hear it. You can absolutely hear it, without a doubt. And I tell you why, because I recently played a guitar, and I said if I didn't know any better, I'd say this guitar has stainless steel frets, and they were stainless steel. You could hear it. You absolutely hear it. Because two metals against each other definitely have a little bit of, tiny bit of different timbre. A little bit, bro. A little bit. No, a little bit. No, a little bit. Yeah. I know, right? I hate that jack placement. Trying to catch up here. You know what? I did not see the jack. I did not see where the jack was. You know, I was just so oblivious to it. I did not pay attention to that. No, you're right, Terry. It shows up and I was like, what? Damn it. Yeah, that's about right, John. Stainless steel frets are more pingy. That's a good description. I think that's apt. I agree. A little brighter, a little more pingy. It's pingy, brah. So we should probably, at some point, talk about the title of this, and that is, you gotta, who are the EX style players? And it doesn't just have to be Explorer, you know. They could be, you know, a destroyer, like Eddie played, or Phil Collen, or and again the guy from Weezer, only because I've seen them recently, and that's what he played all night. He pretty much played an Explorer all night. And I want to say the Edge, right? Am I wrong on that? That the Edge in the early years with U2 was an Explorer player, if I remember correctly? Oh, BC Rich just wrote the Edge. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, of course, EVH, Yabs. That was the one I missed earlier. How could I miss Yabs? I was so into his playing. In fact, I was listening to a little bit of Scorpions earlier today, and as I was listening to him play, I said, oh my God, he's so influential on my playing. Now you can hear it. You know, it's just nonstop squeals. You know, Ace Frehley, yeah, but I always associate him more with the LP. I really do. You know, right, Yabs, Alan Collins, Chris Holmes of Wasp. Good call, bro. Chris Holmes of Wasp. See, I don't remember Gary Moore. Leonard Skinner's guitarist, right, Leonard Skinner. That's true. Skinnerd. Good answer. I feel that is correct. Of course, the Edge. Yeah, people say Ace, but I just don't remember Ace with it. I just remember LP after LP, a black LP, a Tobacco Burst LP with cream pickups, his famous Sunburst Custom, just LP after LP. Billy Gibbons, really? I suppose, yeah, in the early years, I remember that. Johnny Winter. The Ed still plays his Explorer? Cool. Right, a 76. Right, a 76 Explorer. That's nice. Yeah, I went to a dude's house to buy an Ibanez, and he had the Explorer V Ibanez Rocket Roll and like Carina collection from the mid 70s. He had it. I was like, oh, dude, that's nice. Okay, Marty Friedman with the Jackson Kelly, sure. Did really Iron Maiden? I gotta think somebody in like Molly Hatchet did. Rick Nielsen. Yes. Oh my God. The Hamer, his whole Hamer collection. Jesus. Yes. Rick Nielsen. See, I'm seeing Nancy Wilson. I'm seeing James Hetfield, of course. Lita Ford. And Lizzie Hale, of course, has her own Explorer, the Lizzie Hale. Wonderful guitar. Have you seen that car, the white one? It's a beautiful guitar. I think they make the Epiphone, right? It's a wonderful guitar. Oh yeah, Coheed and Cambria, right? Really? Did Grohl play that? I always associate Grohl with the, sort of the, the mashup between a Firebird and a 335. Yeah, Hamer. Exactly, flirting with disaster. Oh, the guy from No Doubt. I didn't know that. Oh, that's right. Entwistle's Explorer. That was a Alembic? Who made that for him? Was that Warwick? Right, Alan Collins and Skinnerd. Yeah, Rick Nielsen. Pete Willis. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Pete Willis. He's an OG member of Def Leppard. Yeah, see, people keep saying Gary Moore, but I always think of Gary Moore. The funny thing is I think of Gary Moore with the Super Strat. I don't even think of Gary Moore with the Les Paul, which is what he was really associated. I think of Gary Moore, you know, with the Shapes of Things album or whatever that was, the one that had Shapes on it, his cover of Shapes. Adrian Smith, okay, played an Ibanez Destroyer. Okay. Jason Hook. Billy Gibbons, I'm seeing a couple. Alembic, yeah. See, I thought it was Alembic, yeah. Grohl played Explorers in the early 2000s. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll get some good names here. I think, to me, the more I think about it, boy, Rick Nielsen. Rick friggin' Nielsen. Jesus. He might be crowned the winner here because he had so many. Rick. Yeah, Rick. Jesus. Oh, yeah, Sammy Hagar. Of course, Sammy Hagar. That's right, Sammy Hagar. Absolutely. The Red Rocker. He had his Red Rocker guitar there, which was, I think, a small body. I feel like that wasn't a Gibson. You know what I'm saying? But maybe it was. Yeah, people saying that, Crosswalk Larry, that Frehley had played one, but I don't remember it, just very rarely, apparently, yeah. Okay, Mick Mars, did he have a Hamer Blitz? Yeah? Yeah, great. The guy from Great White had one, too? See, I don't remember. I remember what they had for guitars. Eddie with the Shark. Yeah, no, Nielsen had 300 to 400. I think Nielsen had more like a couple of thousand. And Nielsen used to take, he's like, yeah, I'll take a 59 Les Paul on tour. He didn't care. He'd be like, what's the point of owning them if you don't tour with them? But I think he calmed down with that after a while. But he used to tour with like super vintage guitars. Paul Stanley, I associate Paul Stanley without, other than his signature guitar like the Iceman. I think of Paul Stanley more of like the Firebird. Than the Explorer. And he said an Explorer around Destroyer Rock and Roll the period. Okay. Howard Leese from Heart. Okay. Jason Hook, Five Finger Death Punch. We're getting some names here. Right, Carlos Cavazo, but his was a Washburn, like EX style, sure. Ace also had a custom-made Mini Explorer on the 1980 Unmasked tour. He had some weird guitars on that tour, right? Didn't he have sort of almost like a Dean, not a Dean Cadillac? I feel like he had sort of like a couple of weird guitars on that tour. A couple of light-up, like rhinestone guitars or something like that. Pretty sure Steve Stevens endorsed Hamer in the 80s. You might be right on that. But I feel like Steve Stevens was using an S-style guitar. You know what I'm saying? He was more like a Super Strat. Yeah, Lita Ford, Runaways. Paul played V's more than Explorers. Yeah, see, again, that sounds right to me, too. That Paul Stanley was more of a V guy than an Explorer guy. And when it wasn't a V, it was more like a Firebird. But when I look at old pictures of Kiss, I really see Paul with a flying V quite a bit, especially in those 74, 75 years. Kiss on the Paul Lynde special used Explorers. Interesting. Because I wonder because they were big and they had like a friggin', like not a publicist, like a fashion consultant. You know what I'm saying? They brought in a stylist. They brought in like stylists since it was crazy. That guy, who was the guy? Bill Aucoin. He was all in on them, and they almost went under, but luckily it was Rock and Roll All Night that broke them, and finally gave them the cash flow to keep the band and the record label going. Yeah, Steve Stevens had his own signature hammer. That sounds right. Oh, yeah, Tommy Shaw. That does sound right. Yeah, Paul Gilbert must have a destroyer. He probably has a half dozen of them. Paul Gilbert, you know, he's got quite a collection of Ibanez guitars. He is, he might be at some point one of the foremost, you know, experts and aficionados of the brand, because he knows so much, and he's just got so much vintage stuff from them over the years. I remember him buying a destroyer, a black one with, you know, with the full block inlay and the cream like pickups, and he bought it for like $400 off of eBay, and I was so jealous. And I remember him doing it. Yeah, I picked this up off of eBay for like $400, and I'm going, oh, you're killing me, bro. You are killing me. Could never find that again. Yeah, go on Reverb. Go on Reverb, and they're like, yeah, it's $4,500. Plus another $1,000 for the case. Cash flow, the artist gets paid last. Yeah, no, I know, but they were so in the hole with Casablanca Records, which was a label that just sort of started pretty much for Kiss, right? I think they was the only band on the label. The quote, the label. And they were out of money. They needed to get an infusion of cash. Keep that label going. We did say the Edge. Did Joe Perry have one? I feel like he might have, actually. Was it Joe Perry that had one, or was it Bradshaw? I mean, Brad Whitford. Ace with the Mini Explorer. All right, let me take a look at this. Oh, yeah, I remember that. It's so funny now that I see it. Now that I see it, it sort of rings a bell. That's funny. Bradley Whitford. So Steve, when are you getting a V? You know, I wouldn't mind getting another V. I had one. It didn't work out. I had a Gibson V. It was in the faded cherry matte finish, ebony fretboard with the crescent moon inlays, which I guess was so I think a thing they did for like 1 year, maybe I think just for like 1 year, maybe 2 years. And it was a set. I think you get the SG with the same thing, the crescent moon inlays. It was a bright guitar. It was surprisingly bright. I could not believe how bright that guitar was for an all mahogany guitar. I want to say it had the 490T pickups, right? If that rings them, that sounds right. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, I sort of like the white one, like the white gloss one that with the dot inlay. I guess that's the standard V. Kind of like what Gary Moore plays in his Hendrix tribute when he does, I think, Angel. That guitar looks and sounds amazing. Oh, is TK here? I'm seeing people saying hello, TTK. So I'm thinking he's here. What's up, buddy? You see with the Carina V. Yeah. I like the Carina. And I like like I said, the white. There's something about that white with the dot inlays. It's a good look. It's a nice look. Maybe try the Epiphone Prophecy V Custom. That's got the Fishmans in it, right? Yeah. Could be interesting. I'm playing through a THU, but the rig... What is the rig? The rig is a Brit 87. Well, they're just running out of ways to say Marshall. But it's in the clean channel, and it's running a DOD pedal in front of it. But again, it's all fake. It's all software, right? It's like a DOD distortion kind of. My Flying V had a baseball bat neck deal breaker. Yeah, I'm hoping it wouldn't. I don't want a real big neck. So that could be a deal breaker if it has more like a 50 style neck. I definitely want more of a 60 style, without a doubt. If I could, if it's out there, if they make it. What's up, Boston G? Does the audio interface make a difference in the overall sound quality? It might make a difference in how fast of a response you get. If you get a cheap one, you won't get good. You'll get crackles and dropouts at you know what I'm saying, at high speed, right? So to get high speed and like instant response out of it, right? Like less than 10 milliseconds turnaround, something like that. That's where having a good interface makes a difference, and actually a pretty decent computer, you know. for the Flying V fund, for the 9V fund. Oh, thanks, Vinny P. Yeah, you know, we can look. It doesn't hurt to look. I mean, we're just looking. Calm down over there. I haven't bought it yet. My wife, what are you even looking for? Just looking. What? Designer? Yeah, there you go. You'll find, yeah, actually Flying V is pretty expensive. $16.99. Not a very expensive proposition. You know? Yeah, see, but to get the white one, it's a little more. To get the 7, that's the one I'd want. That's the one. The white with the dot inlay, the open top pickups. Yeah. That's the kind of the one I like. You know, that's yeah. Looking good. Yeah, because it's either that or I think the Carina. Right, Antique Natural. You know what? I think I just the natural isn't working for me, right? I just feel like it's hard to match the natural body. I think, you know what I'm saying? I like the paint better. I just do. With the V. You know, unless it's like the genuine, like historic. Right, which that one didn't look like. Didn't look like Carina, looked like mahogany. So a little bit different grain pattern. Yeah, exactly. Just look, don't touch. Exactly. Calm down there, hotshot. Exactly. Well, we could do What if we could go to go to Guitar Center used and used guitars, use electric guitars, Gibson. We'll go low to high. We'll stick 90 on a page. And let's see, what do we got? What do we got? Come on, big money, big money. It's a good looking tribute right there. What do we got? Come on. Big money, big money, big money. I'm seeing a lot of LPs. I'm going to have to inch up in money here. I'm going to explore mahogany. Interesting. Nope. Anything? Nothing? Well, we're in the 1200s. We're in the 1200s and nothing so far. I'm not feeling bullish on it. We'll see. Though it is 1999, so you never know. Could find one up here. No. See that these Pro V's are screwing me up here. That's a 5. It's a Roman numeral. Yeah, nothing. Doesn't bode well unless you want a nice modern. Yeah, doesn't look good in the used market. Let's see if we get up here and get something supery dupery. Oh, that's a 2016 limited V98 limited edition. Okay, okay. That's an 82 V2, but is it the sculpted one or that second round? I think it's that second round. Oh no, that's sculpted. Right, but it's got the pickup. It's got humbuckers in it. You know oh yeah, that's the red one. So that's the 82. The crazy ones were like 80 and 81, and they wanted 4,069. And they've dropped it to 2,300, a difference of 1,700. A little discount for you. Yeah. Firebird X. Meh. I'll tell you one thing. Yesterday I saw a killer Firebird on here for like, I want to say it was like $12 or $13.99, and I think it's gone. Yeah, I'm not seeing that Firebird anymore. I knew it would go. It was too gorgeous. I was like, that Firebird is going to be gone before the end of the day. And it was. Yeah, not really seeing. Yeah. I keep an eye out. So what if we go to, we'll go to Abaphone. We'll go to Modern Designer. Yeah. That's the, it's hard to argue with it because you're getting an ebony fretboard, you're getting binding, you're getting Fishman Fluence pickups. I mean, yeah. And you're getting a diamond. You know? It's kind of hard to argue with the Epiphone. Really just start to get to brand snobbery at some point. You just think about the, you know, let's go to original designer. Yeah, straight up V. But see, even the black doesn't work for me quite like the white does. You know what I'm saying? And I think the other one had a binding on the neck, which is preferred if possible. Yeah. We go to electric guitars. If we go original. Yeah. I guess original designer. Well, artisan limited run. Anything? No. Yeah. That's smoking though. The new Brendan. The Brendan Small. I like Floyd Rose's. You know, that's pretty hot there. And it's got a nice binding on the neck. Beautiful. Again, they do the same thing with the strap button though. You know? Same as this. Yeah. And a little spaceship. No, that's a good one. Yeah, Dear Santa. Exactly. Which one did you like? You like the prophecy one? You know, again, it's just hard to argue with its value proposition. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you know, if you think about just the features that you get, and the binding and the ebony and the block inlay and the, you know, these are all like high-end, you know, black tie tuxedo appointments, you know, for $8.99, under $1,000. It's pretty good. I do like the epi stuff. Like that. Black with full binding and gold hardware is a pretty thing. I agree. If Steve had a shop, it'd be called Hot Shot Guitars. Kind of have to at this point. It's so hard on the right hand because you got to skip a string and you got to hit that rhythm, and it's much faster than you think it is. Met Michael Schenker once, showed you how to play Lights Out. Nice, very nice. Friendly, down to earth, great memory. That's awesome. I always wondered how comfortable a V guitar is to play. You got to wear a strap at all times. A V guitar is not a comfortable guitar to play. It really never was. You know, it's a stand-up guitar. Even when you're sitting down, you've got to wear a strap. You know, it's just the nature of the beast, right? Yeah, and this, yeah, these are EMGs. It's a 81 and a 60. These EMGs are active, and it takes a battery. There's a battery compartment in the back. They do make a passive set, though. You know, they made some passive pickups at some point, but they're kind of known for their active. I mean, quite frankly, it almost feels like they practically invented the active pickup market. You know, even though they may not have, it feels like they did. They certainly had like the biggest name recognition in the 80s. What's the fretboard made of? Ebony. Knees hurt bad, yeah. I tell you, I did some yard work a couple of weeks ago, and it friggin' slayed me. Well, look who's here. It's gear gods. He's one of those kids. Is that what the kids like? Yeah, no, you gotta bring the guitar up to what I call, music school graduate level. Yeah, Berkeley height, exactly. Exactly, fusion height. I'm in a fusion band. It's like John Lennon. You know, the arm around the back. Yeah, 64 Beatles height, exactly. People watch your live streams because you don't suck at the guitar. You should try that. It's a strategy. It's a gimmick. We need a gimmick. How about, hear me out, talent. Whoa. Whoa. Slow down. It's just a Johnny Ramone. Calm the frick down there, pal. I never got the low slung stuff. I don't like it too high because it's uncomfortable for my right arm. But man, once it goes too low, my left hand just cannot take it. I cannot take the low slung stuff. I never got it. The wrist trying to get around, I can't do it. You know, there's a happy medium between two. In fact, I probably wear it way too high for most 90s or beyond bands. Oh, thanks, Thunder Falcon. Yeah, it's a long way around, exactly. Steve, if you got a signature monitor, what would it be like and what would you name it? It would have to be named Hot Shot. And, right, the HS3. What about the 1 and 2? No, it's just a 3, just because we can. Oh, thanks, James. I got on some AC/DC. To start off with, good AC/DC, you have to start off with like a good, bell tone. Maybe a little lower, maybe more like here. There we go. Shame. Oh yeah, we have all the tricks here, Gear Gods. Check this out. Check this out. Yeah, impress your friends. I wish I had a bar here. I could do like 10 more things, you know. When your practice regimen turns into a tune. We didn't learn those at Berkeley, only how to be in debt. Exactly. We were looking up, my wife and I were looking through like colleges, and we're looking at all these different colleges. And I want to say Berkeley was one of the most expensive. I want to say it was something like $56,000 a year, something like that. It was like over $200,000 for a 4-year degree. I was like, that is crazy. But sometimes I think they price it like that, and then everybody gets a scholarship. You know what I'm saying? It's like the tuition is really a sliding scale, and they just jack it up for the rich kids. Because when I went to Berkeley, I just remember like a couple of those kids were so rich. You know, one dude's like, yeah, my dad's in Brazil right now, and my mom's in Argentina, and, you know, we have a house in France, and we have a house in LA, and we have a house in New York. And I'm like, sure. It's very common. Nice riff. Dentro papi, toi, tui. Yeah, when I went to Berkeley, I want to say a semester was, I remember my mother paying for it. It was $1,200 or so, or $1,400. That was $1,200. I think with all the fees and everything, it came out to like $1,200 or $1,400. So it's pretty, you know, that's doable. If I checked out Max Ostro, I have. He is crazy good. He is. Keep doing what you do. The do-do. Going back to work in the studio. There you go. Get back. Yeah. Get back to work, brah. We're not paying you to stand around and watch YouTube videos. And, you know, until you have pillow technology, your studio will never be as cool as mine. IKEA drawers from, you know, 2006. You know, chopped foam pillows from Costco. It's all part of the bouquet that is my studio. Have a good one, Coots. 8:24. Jeez, going along here. good one, Coots. Thanks, Johnny, for the cat fund. Yeah. Do I have a cat? I do. You can just see her toe, like right there. The white spot, a little white dot. Yeah, the cats. They definitely take your time and attention. Still not as bad as dogs, though. Dogs are still worse in terms of their requirements, what they need from you on a regular basis. You know. How hot did it get in Boston today? Wicked hot. That's the official reading. Wicked hot, and wicked humid too. Unfortunately, we're at level wicked. So wicked hot, wicked humid, and it they say it's going to break tomorrow, but I haven't seen any rain blow through. Usually when it's this humid, we usually get some serious rain blowing through before we get the cold. Oh, thanks, Buzz. Much appreciated, man. A wee little boat. Exactly. A wee boots. Gear Gods gave me a $10 stream? Get out of here. Stream from Boston. Oh my God. Dude. I would buy you a beer, but you don't drink. I'd buy you a beer at NAMM, but you don't drink there. Hot shot. We gotta get you. We gotta get you out to a dispensary, a couple of bars, a few strip clubs. I mean, come on, dude. Have one night. Yeah, wicked piss or wicked hot. Wicked is 121 in Phoenix. I think we got in the 90s today. We've had a heat wave. We were at 97 yesterday, which admittedly is pretty hot. We don't get that hot around here. It's a bit much. You know. Have you thought about what your next purchase is going to be? You know, I have. I think I'm going to go with probably ASM Hydrosynth. I'm leaning Hydrosynth. I just sold an old Korg synth. I have another synth I'm going to probably throw up on Reverb and sell real quick. And I'm working towards a Hydrosynth. I actually had picked up a MIDI controller lately. What was it? It was an Arturia Keylab Mark II. A great keyboard, nice build. I hated the key bed. It was just too spongy and wobbly. I don't like that style of key bed. That's some people really like that. I do not like that. So it had to go back. But what's up, Eljon? What's up, buddy? Are you going to Henning's place this year? No, not this year. Actually, the cost of travel right now is really, really high. So he had to limit the people. I'm not going. Phil McKnight isn't going. RJ Ron Kilio isn't going. I think only Gear Gods, you bastard, and 60 Cycle Hum is going from the U.S. Unless Perfecto is out in LA, then Perfecto de Castro as well, which I don't think had been before. So he's trying to mix it up a little bit. Old-fashioned mix-up. 2 more months until October, dude. I am counting down to the first frost. I know Ted won't take my money. Ted seems to be pretty chill. You start to learn the ones like AC/DC. It depends on the song, right? Some songs I am flagged instantly, right? And it's crazy. And it's like some of their more esoteric hits, like Ride On, always gets flagged. The Jack always gets flagged, right? So it seems like certain ones are flagged like all the time. But other ones, like a lot of the stuff off of Back in Black, do not get flagged. So I guess it just depends on who owns the rights. And some of those older ones apparently are owned by somebody who's pretty. That's all they're doing. They're almost like a patent troll. They're like a copyright troll. They just constantly, trolling for any way to monetize their ownership. I don't know a ton of Nugent. I probably know Cat Scratch Fever. And then, what's the other one? Stranglehold. And then probably like Wango Tango, right? And that's about it. I don't really know a ton of Ted. Just sort of like the ones that really made it to the radio. Yeah, Bon Scott. Maybe it's the Bon Scott stuff. I don't know what the. I don't know what the. It just feels like AC/DC didn't really hit it in the States until like really Highway to Hell in '79, and then the huge explosion was in 1980 with Back in Black, and then everybody tried to then all of a sudden any back catalog was making its way out to try and capitalize and get it right. Then Big Balls all of a sudden made its way out, right? Which is a song that had been recorded years earlier, but they were just trying to capitalize on the momentum of the band. What gauge do I play? Normally 10s, but it depends on the guitar. Some guitars that have not a lot of slack after the nut or behind the bridge, 9s will be a little easier to bend. Having this extra string past the nut actually makes the bend a little slinkier. So sometimes when you use 10s, they can feel a little stiff. It really depends on the guitar. Like a Floyd Rose guitar that's blocked here and blocked there. It can be a little stiff on the bend. So then I'll go to 9s. On the guitar with my scallop guitar, I use 11s. But I'm sort of moving away from 11s. It's too much. It's way too much. To the stream, but Claudio Sanchez of Coheed and Cambria. Actually, Coheed and Cambria did come up earlier. That actually did come up because I think we had a pretty good list. We had a pretty good list going. I still might be calling Rick Nielsen the king of the Explorers, though. The guy played a lot of Explorer-shaped guitars, whether it was Gibson or Hamer or whoever. Patrick, I'd like companies to send you free stuff to review, such as guitars. Write them. Tell them. Send Steve guitars. I agree. We're thinking the same on that, bro. To me, it's Yabs. Yeah, I can't believe I totally brain farted that. How did I? Because I was such a fan of the Scorpions in the 80s. You know, I really was. Something like that. Something like that. Do more affordable guitar reviews. Well, Harley Benton's very affordable. That's it, you know, $399. You know, like $679. This is $399. I do mostly affordable guitars, I would say. You should see my Squire video. Probably one of my. It's got well over 1 million views. It's probably my most hated video because here's what I learned from making that Squire video. Take the worst piece of shit, absolute garbage guitar, and someone will defend it till the end of time. They just, how dare you? That was my favorite guitar. Like, that guitar is awful. Not every guitar is a home run. Not every one. At some point, here's another thing you have to remember. How much does it cost to make a guitar when it has to come out to retail? Okay? The answer is 25% of retail. That tends to be the correct answer. So if you're buying a guitar that costs $99, they built that guitar from head to toe and shipped it and got it in the store for about $25. When you put a guitar together for $25, you're making a lot of hard choices. Even doubling that to $50 takes a lot of the pressure off. It really does. They're incredibly, right? At some point, you just can't get the materials that cheap. And sacrifices have to be made. But I'm telling you, you go on there and you basically say, well, this guitar is awesome and this guitar is great, but this guitar kind of sucks. And people are like, how dare you? That guitar, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, oh, I found the owner of that guitar. No, I think I do. And I think that guitar sucks. It's got a chunky neck. It's not rounded at all. Fret sprout, terrible sounding pickups, very crappy tuners, you know, stamped die-cast metal friggin' You know, saddles. That guitar is garbage. And there's nothing you can say that can salvage it. But, you know, yours, I'm sure, is great. Oh, yeah? You're moving around back there a little bit? Right? Oh, but it looks good on you, right? I mean, nitrocellulose guitars, yeah. Let's see, the SG, the LP, the 62 AVRI. What else? That might be it. Oh no, and the Select Strat is nitro. The Strat, that's a 1982. That's almost assuredly nitro. Oh, and the J Custom is nitro. I think all the rest are probably poly though. Exactly, it's like calling someone's baby ugly. God, they just... It's, can I hold the guitar up? Well, I can. Oop, hold on. As I was saying earlier, I tend to step on the chords. Do. And then, right there. Give you another look at it, a little closer. Yeah, but fingerprint magnet. total fingerprint magnet. Any black guitar, fingerprint magnet. Have I ever worn through a nitro finish? Not that I can think of. They chip really easy, though. I'll tell you that much. They chip a lot easier than a friggin' poly guitar does. That's for damn sure. The back, it's a little tricky for me to just turn this over. But I'm gonna give it a try. It's a little tricky. And you can't really see it anyway. That's where the battery goes. All right, that's it. I think I just threw my arm out. Yeah, exactly, unless it's black matte. What's up, Deity in Boston? The Strat is like Ferrari La Ferrari, exactly. Trying to think of some new now. Hi, howdy, Steve. Where are EMGs made? I have no idea. I gotta think China, right? Where else? EMGs have been around forever. I don't know if they still make them in the same place or where they make them. You'd have to check EMG. I wonder if we could go to EMG's website and check really quickly. Where the EMG Pickups. Do they even say? They say made in California since 1976. So, California. Yeah, right there. There's the 60. Pretty much your neck pickup. And the 81. Yeah, you know what? They're getting $99 for the 81 and $99 for the 60. That's 200 in pickups right there. You know? Nice. Let me just move off of that. There we go. Yeah, there you go. The EMG factory in Santa Rosa, California. EMG manufactures its active pickups in-house in its California factory. There you go. There you go. Name the new guitar. I don't name my guitars. I never have. I never got that. I don't do it. You know, I just, I don't know. And again, sometimes, not to beat up on people that do it, but, you know, your guitar's not your girlfriend, bro. Okay? Your guitar's not your girlfriend. And I see so many dudes that treat their guitar like their girlfriend. Especially when someone else shows up and they want to play it. They're like, you want to touch and play my guitar? Like I want to touch and play your girlfriend, you know? It's an inanimate object. Doesn't have feelings. It's not alive. It's indifferent. Well, Stoner Shark, yeah, well, that's the only one. That's just the only one. The only one. Stoner Shark, but Stoner Shark, you know, is not really the guitar so much as it is the grain pattern. The grain is named Stoner Shark. Not the guitar, though. Yeah, I was in bands through college. That's about it. You know. Well, I remember like saying to a friend of mine, I go, you know, if like you were dating a girl and she named her treadmill, wouldn't you think that's a little weird? Right? In other words, if you brought a girl over and you said, yeah, this is my guitar, I named it Roxanne, she might be thinking, you're a little crazy. Because if I went over to her house and she said, yeah, that's my treadmill, Frederick, I'd be like, this chick is spun. Spun. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's not too far off from each other. selling Yamaha Pacifica in mint condition, what percentage of retail jazz are? It's hard to say because I don't know how they hold their value. And Pacifica's had so many different models over such a long period of time. I remember the Pacificas back in the 90s. Like, they were really popular for a stretch there in the 90s too, especially like say 93 through like 96 or so. They had it's a really, really top seller for us. It's hard to say. You know, I don't know enough about the guitars to know that. You know. B.B. King named Lucille, and I never forgave him for that. Brownie, Blackie, you're dead to me. Frankenstein, how dare you? You know, Mary Shelley called. What string action do you like to use? Well, for string action, I tend to like it a little bit higher. I like the string out a little bit more. And I tend to find it's a little easier to bend if the strings aren't too low. It's a happy medium. You know, I probably, like the SG was definitely like way too low. That was set like, you know, for what I call Ferrari style. And I had to bring that up to like Hummer. You know what I'm saying? Does anyone here play GHS Boomers? You know, I used to. I went through a period where I was playing GHS Boomers for a while. I don't know why and then I switched, I think, to D'Addario for a while, and now I'm pretty much all Ernie Ball. I probably had a little clear tone in there, but it's really been. I was Ernie Ball when I was real young. And then I think I went to GHS Boomers because there was a guy who used to come in the store and just swear by them. All right, I'll give him a try. And I switched to GHS Boomers for a while with the stick of dynamite on the package. And then went to and then I think I went D'Addario for a long time. And then probably 5 years of clear tone. And then I've been on EB, Ernie Ball, for about a year now. I think I went through a Dean Markley period too. I think I was into those cryos for a while. Remember when they had the cryogenic ones? But I think after a while, I just went. I went to D'Addario. I had a long run with D'Addario. Probably because I was getting them by the case. You know what I'm saying? Get a couple of boxes and you get a pretty good discount. I'd get them through the store, you know. Yeah, I was D'Addario for a long time. Yeah, Blue Steels. That's what they were, the Blue Steels. Remember the Blue Steels? They were a little bright. That cryo made them a little bright. They were the regular strings, but they went under a cryogenic treatment, which they say realigns the structure a little more tightly. And when it comes back out, it doesn't relax exactly back to where it was. Oh. They said a lot of things back in the 80s. Yeah, we got a few more minutes here. I think I've been going a while. Did I start a little early? Am I over? Yeah, I just passed the 2-hour mark. There you go. I thought so. Really? I've never tried the DR cryogenics. Bloodbath, huh? That doesn't sound good. Yeah, I was super slinkies. That's what I was, Johnny Rock. I was super slinkies for a long time. Now I'm regular slinky. I like the 10s more than the 9s. I still have 9s once in a while, but for the most part, I'm 10s. Yeah, blue steel with the cryogenic, right? That it was a big thing for razor blades at the time too. People swore by it. You put the razor blade in a super deep freeze, but when they said when it came out, it never quite would return to its old form, and it would be like a little bit. The metal would be a little tighter, and that would make it a little sharper and a little more long-lasting. Who knows? Again, they said a lot of things back then. Oh, thanks, Ron. Time has been flying tonight. I'm hearing something up there. Cats, I think. Yeah, I remember SIT strings. We were an SIT dealer. I never tried them though. They're almost like pre-stretched, right? Stay in tune strings. They had something that made them, like, I think almost like I said, like pre-stretched. You know? What am I doing tonight? I'm having a live show. It's about to wrap up. It's almost 9 p.m. You also grabbed the soldering iron when you dropped it. That's a sensation you don't forget very quickly. Yeah, I touched I remember a really hot coil one time. It literally, smoke came off my finger. It was bad. It was bad. Literally, smoke came off my finger. It was so bad. They say Van Halen boiled his strings, but I know bass players that used to do it just because they were broke and couldn't afford to put a new set of bass strings on. The bottom line is that once you wear out the bottoms of the strings, then even boiling them to try and the claim was that he wasn't boiling them to stretch them out. He was boiling them to rejuvenate them, right? To boil off all the dirt and grime in between everything and then clean them off. And then you'd get another few weeks out of the same set of strings. But I find that the bottom of the string gets flattened out by the fret. It gets divoted ever so slightly. And that just gets worse, and they never quite line up. Your intonation just goes to crap. It never works. In fact, many times I've worked on guitars and tried to salvage the strings, and forget boiling them, just to try to salvage the strings. I'm like, you just can't do it. Just put a new set of strings on. It just doesn't have, this doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah, hot irons, yeah. Oh, it was, again, it's a sensation you won't soon forget. Well, like James, like David Lee Roth said, you know, water makes rust and rust sinks battleships. You know, they make a string stretcher. We used to have one that used to just be like this little circle, right? This little string stretcher. You just ran it up and down the string. And that freaking thing worked. And especially if you're using a Floyd Rose, it was good because it got the, you know, because you're going to be clamping it down. And you know you're just unclamping that in like a day or two. So it worked. It was it was small. It was only like, you know, like that big. It was like a little circle, you know, a little bigger than, you know, maybe like that big. And it just had like a little hump in the bottom. And it was just a ring, and you just stick the string through it and just slide it up and down the string. It was plastic. Yeah, it worked. All right, guys. Well, I just hit 9 p.m. here. I think we're gonna call it a night. I still got a third-degree burn on my forearm. You know, I busted. One time I was working on I'll give you this quick story really quickly. One time I had a very expensive set of sunglasses. I forget what they were, but it was like $150 set of sunglasses, you know. And I had a party at my house, and of course the sunglasses got stolen. Cut to like a year later, and I happened to be at like this other kid's apartment, and there are my sunglasses, like sitting like in his room, like on a thing. I go, dude, what the hell is this? These are my sunglasses. He goes, no, they're not. I go, no, those are mine. Those are mine. And I flipped him over. I go, oh, really? Did you burn the inside of the nose piece with a soldering iron as well, like this one did? Please, these are mine. That's the soldering burn from my soldering iron. I don't want to hear it. And he was like, oh, I don't know. I don't even know where those came. I was like, oh, please. Please. And I walked out of there with those sunglasses. I picked them right up and threw them on my thing. I said, yeah, these are mine, buddy. And he wasn't about to stop me. It happens. All right, dudes. No, you rock. Super thanks to everyone who hung out tonight. Super extra mega thanks to anyone who contributed. Really appreciate it. I guess I got to get a V now, huh? Jeez, it never ends. And you know, of course, mega schmega thanks to my mod squad. I really appreciate it. Keep the natives in line. And there you go. No, you rock. All right. Exactly. Please. He's I walked out with those glasses. I took them right away. Said, yeah, I don't think so. He wasn't stopping me. You know how that goes. All right, dudes. No, you rock. I'll see you in a week. Until then, have a wonderful week and rock on. Later.